So beautiful people, and welcome back to the R&D show with your host. I'm Shad,
I'm Ryan.
and you're tuned into the R&D show.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we wrapped one video, and it's time to jump in here and give some more of these hot topics or some more topics just in general. And let's start off with the Braxtons. The Braxtons are coming back to TV.
The Braxtons are coming back to TV.
Y'all remember the Braxton family values?
Is Tamar gonna?
Tamar, Tony,
Okay.
Tawanda, Trina, Miss Evelyn. The Braxtons are coming back to TV.
You know what? I'm not surprised because it was a hit show. And I'm sure WeTV saw the opportunity to bring more viewers back to the network. And who doesn't love the Braxtons?
Yeah, it was a hit show, but it also created a little monster a little bit in Tamar, and it also created a division within their family, unfortunately, and relationships were kind of not destroyed, but affected severely by.
So did they have relationship issues already coming into the show, and the show further highlighted it or exacerbated things? Do you think it was really the show that, was a reason behind some of the divide in the family?
It's a great question. I think it's a great question, but it's also like a sensitive topic to knowing some of like the background. If you think about when the show first premiered, it was this fun show. Like I felt like we didn't know much about any of the sisters. We only really knew Tony, and yes, we knew of the rest of the sisters because Tamar at one time had her solo album, and then they had the Braxtons album, just those three girls, Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar. Of course, none of their careers got as big as Tony's did, but we really just knew Tony Braxton as the Braxton, you know what I mean? And so when the show premiered, we got to really be introduced to these other sisters, these other girls, just this family in general. And it was just like, wow, like this family is very interesting. Like they're fun, they have a lot of energy. And in the beginning, it was love and light. I feel like it was love, light, it was music, it was a lot of personality. And then somewhere along the line, some of the real stuff started to come out. Some of the true feelings of, for instance, how Tracy had felt for a very long time started to play out, of her always feeling left out, not included, feeling like she wasn't important, she wasn't valued, like everyone else was better than her. Like she had a very big chip on her shoulder that started slowly but surely coming out, which also was giving conflict. Like it'd be conflict with Tamar. Is like the main source of the conflict with many of the sisters, but
surprise,
right? Listen. I think knowing who Tamar is now, we're not surprised by any of that. But yeah, so to answer your question, there was already some problems, but I don't know if that had been suppressed, and not really spoke about. But then now you have this platform, and you're feeling some type of way about people's actions and behavior, and now all this is coming out.
Yeah, and TV can magnify things.
Oh, and that's exactly what happened, to the point where they no longer wanted to do the show. And Tamar, of course, blamed production. She blamed all of that instead of her behavior. And I remember when they sat down with Iyanla Vanzant, and she tried to fix their life. And Tamar was so combative. Like she challenged her on a lot of things, and she just would not accept full responsibility and accountability for like the parts that she played, not only on this show, but within her relationships, the demise of these relationships with your sisters, because your actions and behavior, like it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best.
So it should be exciting to see how the family came back together.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is going to be more on a positive note. It'll be about the mending. And so the story didn't end there. So I'm actually looking forward to really watching it. I'll be honest, I didn't really watch it before. I maybe watched it here and there. It was a lot of negativity that I felt, so I just couldn't get into it as much. But
so you probably started watching seasons later.
Yeah, seasons later. I know. Yeah, it was seasons later.
When there was
it was
a lot
bickering,
of bumps in the road.
Yeah. It was like, but I still got love for them.
It's going to be interesting because they're missing Tracy. She passed away a few years ago, and
Damn.
so that's going to be
right.
the dynamics of that is going to be very interesting on just where they are and how they're going to be a unit, a family unit of unity. You know what I mean, and not so much division and things of that nature. So that kind of sucks, but. And then also it's interesting that they're back on WeTV because Tamar has so much to say about WeTV and she never wanted to be a part of WeTV again. But
hey, when it makes sense, when the dollars make sense, the network's gonna find a way to work with an artist again or talent again. At the end of the day, it's a business about making money, and Tamar is an attractive asset to a lot of TV stations, and she was one of probably the most attractive talents they had on air for WeTV. So I'm not surprised they're bringing her back. Just like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Bravo brought back Nene. I would not be shocked one bit.
Even
not one bit.
We're gonna touch on that as well, but
yeah.
What was it? Oh, so there's always been like this debate, and they've put it out there. The Braxtons have that they should be just as big as the Kardashians. What's your thoughts on that?
Whew. Did any of them have a sex video? Maybe. So
No.
I'll say that, did they come out around the same time? I feel like Kardashians may have been a little bit more on the cutting edge, and I may be misspeaking, but I think probably also we got to think about race. And the Kardashian has a mass appeal to, all races. I think the Braxton Family Values probably main audiences Black people, African American people. I think everybody watches the Kardashians. They're just more palatable in that way, and they can cross over in that way. And they cross over partially because they traditionally dated Black men, yep. And so so I think that has more to do with it.
And of course, that wasn't the case in the beginning, right? When the Kardashians first premiered, it wasn't like everybody was watching the Kardashians, but they somehow just, the way that they rose to stardom so quickly and their lifestyles changed so fast too, I think that became very appealing. And of course, like you said, dating these Black men and seeing these transformations and things of that nature, they became, and they also live a lifestyle that only a small percentage of people are able to live. Like if you're watching the Kardashians right now, the way that they live is a small percentage of the world. Like literally, yeah. It's like a fantasy. It's almost as if we can watch the Braxtons and it's more relatable. I think because we can't really relate to the Kardashians. For me, like if I watch, I would consider it my guilty pleasure because it gives me a fantasy of just like, wow, a different world, a different way of living that I've never been exposed to. And so their problems are big to them is nothing to us. Like a problem not being able to start your own oven or something like that. And you're like, wait, what? This is an issue? Or, you know what I mean? Not being able to get the car that they wanted because it was sold out, or we got to wait a little longer for this third house to be built and I'm just stressing over it. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see the dynamic of just like how how certain things that they try to play out as their issues, but for them it is their issues, right? Yeah. For them it is a problem and an issue, but for us we're like, wait, man, you have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, you have these already beautiful houses, and you're stressed, but it is what it is.
They have these champagne problems, but even our problems could be champagne problems to somebody else.
That's true.
That has less than we do. So, but it is intriguing to see the lifestyle of the Kardashians and the different businesses that they're trying to do, and then their family dynamics. So I enjoy the show.
Yeah,
and it's kind of lighthearted too. It's not as heavy as some of these other shows. So it's more lighthearted, and you see the love between the family. They have some dissension, but there's a lot of love that you see.
Yeah, you definitely see them come back from. I love that they're able to come back from like the drama. Mm-hmm. They're able to have an argument, have that separation, but then have the conversation to come back, so that it's just not like for seasons we're seeing them fussing and fighting and not getting along. Yep. Within that same season, they try to find a way to mend whatever it is. And you can see a lot of love there. You know, there's a lot of love in that family. As much as they could be talked about in a negative way, if you really watch, there's a lot of love in that family. And I feel the same way about the Braxtons. I feel like there's a lot of love there. I think that some of the drama and the antics kind of overshadow just how good of a show that the Braxtons was and is. So it is going to be interesting to see what this next go around is about and how everything plays out with the Braxtons.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch and see the new evolution. I know, like I said, when I watched it before, I did enjoy it, but it was a little bit too negative for me at time periods. But I'm looking forward to seeing how things have evolved. And so we can come back and talk about it.
Yeah, and how they have a relationship with each other now, because they've all gotten older.
Yeah.
Tamar's life has completely changed since the beginning up until now. So to just see the evolution of like how does she now relationship with her sisters, because she was on top of the world. You know, she had Vince. They lived in that beautiful mansion in LA overlooking like the ocean. Like it was a different type of lifestyle for her, and so a lot has changed. And I think that that can also humble you a little bit more too.
And then did she get married again?
She didn't. She got engaged.
She got engaged, and
then they wasn't engaged, but now they back together.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They're back together. Wow. And okay.
There had been a whirlwind of just drama surrounding that.
Is he going to be on the show?
Probably.
Okay.
That'll probably play out as well.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't like him for her.
Okay. I mean,
It's been messy.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. It's been pretty messy, and she hasn't made it any better. So
she should have let that guy on the one show meditate her draws away.
Right.
Like she said,
you're not gonna meditate my draws.
She said, you're not gonna meditate my draws away. It was some yoga teacher she was dating.
Yeah.
And he was smooth, and she was like, "You're not gonna meditate my draws away."
Yeah. And one thing about Tamar, she's funny.
Yeah, she's.
And I thought she would have been good for Housewives.
Yeah.
And speaking of Housewives, it's interesting because now talks have changed about who's coming back to Housewives.
Okay.
I just read an article, a few articles have been released now that Phaedra said they're in talks.
Okay, I can see that.
Returning
because I don't think she's working on Married to Medicine. She has really no storyline. She's not really adding anything to the show. But I do love Phaedra on Traitors. So Traitors, that's another reality TV show competition that we watch. But yeah.
Yeah, so she said she's in talks and there's discussions, so just got to see what happens there. So very interesting.
Really?
But of course, I know that she's a part of the franchise, but I'm trying to figure out.
But Candy is not going to be on, so maybe
Candy's not going to be though.
Then maybe it has something to do with it as well.
But how was her contract with Married to Medicine? Was it just
maybe a single year?
We'll see what happens type of contract.
But they already know a TV station is about value. Where can I get the most value? They're not getting a lot of value out of Phaedra on Married to Medicine.
Well, the ratings are good though
for Married to Medicine. But I feel like her on Real Housewives of Atlanta, the ratings are going to go even higher. It's going to have a bigger impact. It's a bigger impact for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that's a bigger type of show as well.
That's a good point that you made, because I actually read that. They're like, yeah, the ratings are great with Married to Medicine with her on there, but that's not her circle of people. She is more of a housewife, and she's more familiar in that space. And she shows up in that space different than she does on Married to Medicine. People are kind of feeling like she's just on Married to Medicine just to be seen, just to be on TV, like I'm just here.
Yeah.
But she's not really operating in that space the way that she would on Housewives of Atlanta. So it would be interesting to have Phaedra back on, because it's been since 2009, I believe.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But also and are we going to get Phaedra, because she is closed off on Married to Medicine, right? So on Housewives, she's going to be obligated to show her life, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to open up.
Because we don't see much of her life on Married to
Medicine. How you're parenting with Apollo, and who you're dating, and all the rest of this stuff. So
yeah, she's like an accessory on Married to Medicine.
That's a good word. That's exactly what it is. And I was like, this would be a good accessory to boost or to get more eyes. And I mean, 2.4 million is good, right?
Yeah.
I think that 2.4 million people watching Married to Medicine, they're in the top 5.
Oh, nice.
I think they're number 3.
Okay.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is first, Potomac is second.
Okay, so they're right behind.
And then Married to Medicine is 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. Right behind those
wait, no, it's.
But still to be up there, I don't care if they're 1,
they're 4th.
3, 3, 4, whatever.
But that's still good though.
It's good. And you're talking about a show with a group of black doctors, you know, and people that doing really successful things, being a top 5 show on Bravo.
And Bravo produces a lot of shows. So that speaks volumes for it to be Real Housewives of Potomac, which is a black casted show, and then Married to Medicine, for them to be in the top 5. Amongst all of these shows that aren't, you know, African American driven, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and Real Housewives is a franchise.
Yeah.
And so they have a brand, they have more marketing dollars behind them. And so to be like just a one-off show and be able to compete with the franchise, what Bravo is known for, the Real Housewives, and they're in a good place.
Yeah, they're in a good place. And they sustained, you know, 10 years, and to not be considered a part of that franchise, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So yeah, Phaedra, of course, Kenya has been making her rounds, and she hasn't said that she's, you know, coming back, but she said it without saying it.
Yeah, for sure.
Portia's been thrown back out there.
Okay.
And that's all we know so far.
Okay.
And then some newbies, but
that's some heavy hitters right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It'll be a nice switch up.
And listen, hey, it'd be an earthquake and a shake the room if out of nowhere, you know how they like to do them introductions when it's a hit you one of them introductions and just starting, they panning from the feet and you see these heels walking and it's starting to go in slow motion and the music is playing.
It's
come up and it's exactly. And it's Nene Leakes. Them ratings go but
it'd be nice to have Derek back on the show too.
Yeah, Derek J was cool on there. But yeah, you are a fool for that. That threw me all the way. That threw me off. But yeah, so that's Housewives and the Brysons. So
love me some Derek.
Monica. Everybody knows I love Monica. I've been loving Monica since I was in the 5th grade. Love me some Monica. R&B singer.
I thought we were talking about. Okay, good.
R&B singer Monica.
Okay.
Nah. So Monica just announced that she's going on tour opening for Nicki Minaj.
Huh. Your favorite artist? You're not pissed, are you? Oh my God.
And so I had to really sit with that one, right? Because I said that's not what we the people asked for. We asked for a Brandy and Monica tour. That's what we asked for. We asked for a Brandy and Monica world tour. Not for Monica to go on.
She went opposite direction.
She went left. And I get Nicki Minaj came out the gate saying that she looked up to Monica, she admires Monica, she's always giving Monica her flowers, she's one of her favorite artists, things of that nature, and they have a relationship, and so that's good. I get that now they're gonna go on tour together, but as much as I love Monica, I wouldn't spend my money just because I don't want to see Nicki. It would literally be me going to see Monica, then leaving, but then again, I'll be surrounded by barbs and all the rest of that, and I just feel like it's a great opportunity for Monica, right? Because one thing about Monica, she stays working. Monica's never not working. She stays on tour, so she's never not working. It's a great opportunity for Monica to continue. Now it's just going to be consistent for half of the year of just touring and things of that nature with somebody who she's friends with. I think that's great. I think most of the conversation is people are thinking that, it could be true that majority of Nicki's fans are younger, and so they don't really know of Monica. But then they have to remember that Nicki Minaj herself is 41 years old, so she has 41? So she has older fans who love and adore Monica, who've been knowing Monica. You know what I mean? And so it's not going to be a situation where Monica is on stage and nobody knows anything about who Monica is.
Right. But also it's an opportunity for Monica to acquire new fans.
Yeah.
Right. Even if they are younger fans. So maybe she'll be able to get more of the younger generation as well. So
Absolutely.
it could be a good, a good move for her to expand her audience and expand her reach.
I think it's smart, but I think the smarter move to me personally would have been a Monica and Brandy tour. That's just, both of them are headliners. I think that would have been an even smarter move because that's a sellout tour. That's an immediate
I
sellout
think
tour.
Nicki Minaj is a sellout too. She's a
I'm not saying that
huge,
she's
huge-
not, but
I feel like she can always go on tour with Brandy. This is a unique opportunity
Yeah.
for her to expand her audience, to do something different, and then she can go on tour with Brandy another time.
never time.
Another time.
It's never gonna happen because after Versus was the perfect time to go on
Yeah,
tour.
it was the
you know what
perfect time.
It was the perfect time.
Capitalize off all that momentum
And they said that they were in talks of them, but that just never happened. I don't know. Of course, I'll say go and support Monica if you're a Monica fan. Go and support, buy your ticket or whatever the case may be. Go and support Nicki if you're a Nicki fan, whatever the case may be. Support the tour in general because it's two black women that's out here, touring. But for me personally, I was not
I
expecting.
don't like
that.
it.
I wasn't expecting it. I like it for the fact that it's great that she gets to tour, continue to do what she loves to do. That she's been doing that though. She's been doing those things, but I just would have wanted to see her with someone else.
And I really wonder if Monica fans are gonna go out because I don't know if a lot of Monica fans
are Nicki fans.
Or Nicki fans. Like Monica is always touring. They can wait till this tour's over to go see Monica. And so, like, I wonder what her crowd base is going to be. It's going to be more Nicki fans just coming to watch her and just waiting for Nicki to come on, or is she going to have a core group of fans that's going to be in the audience? Because
I've seen mixed reviews of how people are going to receive that.
Yeah.
But then you don't want it to be an Ari Lennox and Rod Wave situation because she opened up for rapper Rod Wave, and his fans did not receive her well at all.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
It was bad. It was really, really bad. And of course, people are like, "Who's her management? Why did they think it was a good idea to put Ari Lennox on this tour?"
So I feel like Nicki should have had Ice Spice open up for her. Like that would have been more in a similar vibe, similar lane crossover.
She probably didn't want that though.
She probably had too much competition. She didn't want any competition in the rap
Why have
lane.
another rapper?
She didn't want anybody to steal her light. Is that
Probably
what you think
that.
so?
I don't know
Not
about
her,
stealing
Nicki.
light, but I just think that why would I want another female rapper to open up for me when I can open and close for myself? That type of thing.
Because that could be exciting. Because Ice Spice is for one, she's working with Ice Spice, right? Is Ice Spice on her management, a part of her production label or management team? I'm not sure.
So.
I know they was working together. I know they've done some collabs or whatever, but like Ice Spice has a younger generation. She's likable too, and so I think
Is she likable?
She's more likable than Nicki.
Not after she just started this beef with Lotto.
What did she do?
Okay. These girls were picking and choosing to
I
start.
don't know. Really, but do you think
know.
the beef is manufactured for both of them to draw up attention? We saw what
I think it's
happened with Nicki.
manufactured for Ice Spice. I think it's convenient for her because she has a relationship with Nicki. She knows Nicki doesn't care for Lotto, and then she just out of nowhere decided to feel some type of way about Lotto making a video in front of her video playing in the background. I was like, I didn't even know her video was playing, but she was with her sister, literally making like a TikTok or something like that. Which had nothing to do with.
That's paying homage. Like, what's the issue with that? Like,
she felt like she was trying to be funny and
okay.
Like, people be, if you already feel some type of way about somebody, or if you are
a part of a clique, I always feel
exactly
type of way.
Then,
especially the main person of that clique feels a certain type of way.
Exactly.
Kind of rubs off on you.
I don't know. I think it's whack at this point. I mean, you're a fresh new artist. The last thing you want to do is immediately create a beef. You know what I mean? Like, beef, be cool, be cordial. Like, 9 times out of 10, you don't even know this girl. Y'all have never probably even met. So I think that's a little weird instead of just.
Now it's like the two light-skinned girls going at each other. It's just, it's not
weird.
What we want to see, but I do think some of this could be manufactured. We saw what happened with Nicki and Megan. The record sales went up because of the beef. And really, Ice Spice had just released the album, I believe, and it got
she ain't had no album yet.
or a single, whatever song. She released something, and it got overshadowed. It got overshadowed because of the beef between Megan and Nicki.
But now it's back picking back up a little bit because now she's saying that single is about Lotto. So is this?
I think it's some marketing.
It's weird.
It seems marketing. It's like a gimmick, but maybe there's some authenticity to it.
It makes no sense at the end of the day. But to each his own, whatever. Moving on, Usher Raymond.
Usher Raymond,
the GOAT.
Is it the fifth? What is it?
It's the fourth. I think.
Fourth.
Is it the fourth?
The fourth, the fifth? I don't know.
Because now B is he should be the fifth.
Okay.
Cinco.
Okay.
Yeah. So Usher should be the fourth. But the GOAT is performing on Super Bowl on Sunday, halftime show. And if you know anything about Usher, man, this is long overdue, but also just well deserved, and also just the perfect timing as well. So everything happens for a reason, for a season when it's supposed to. And him coming off of his sellout, amazing residency, he just dropped his new album on Friday called Coming Home. Not only did he drop the album, he also dropped a tour, past, present, and future tour. And then he's doing the Super Bowl. So marketing out of this world, promotion out of this world, definitely the man, the myth, the legend, the icon, the blueprint. You know what I mean? Because he started when he was, 12, 13,
Mm-hmm.
and to be turning, I think, 46 this year, Usher is still doing his thing. Just as if like Beyonce's doing her thing, Usher is still doing his thing. And I feel like we got our Beyonce, but we also have our Usher. And I think people started to really give him his flowers and remember that we also have our Usher starting at his residency, and all of the love and all of the feedback and just all of the praise. And so hopefully everybody continues to do that, on this tour.
It's interesting because I felt like at some point Usher's career, it was not at the level where it had been before.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like with the residency, he felt the love, and you can see he has a new fire, and I feel like he got even more confidence with himself, because I felt like there was a time period where, at least to me, it seemed like he wasn't quite as confident, and he wasn't quite sure in his career. But now, like, he's taking off. He's like at the top of the game, and he showed that he has staying power.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for, man, what?
Decades.
20 something years. Yeah. Like 28 years? Man, that's insane to have that type of staying power and to be that type of influence on all the R&B artists to follow.
Yeah.
He's definitely a legend. He's a blueprint. After the blueprint, Michael Jackson was the blueprint. Now the next blueprint, modern day blueprint, has been Usher.
Because you always have to have a teacher, then a student, and then the student becomes the teacher,
mm-hmm.
and then there's another student. So I'll go back to the conversation that I had before. Michael Jackson's the teacher, Usher is the student. Usher then became the teacher. Chris Brown is the student. Chris Brown then becomes the teacher, and then there's going to be a student behind him. So you can't have one without the other, because there was some inspiration there. There was some admiration there. There was a blueprint there for the other to follow. That's why I don't agree with, pitting them against each other either, because one was the teacher and the other was the student, and eventually that student becomes the teacher and somebody comes behind there. And so, man, one thing about Usher is he's been consistent. Like, one thing, he's just been consistent on who he is as an artist, and that's a beautiful thing to see. I think that you talked about, I guess, did you say something about artists compromising or
yeah,
themselves?
Yeah, for sure.
And he's been consistent in who he is, the music that he's decided to make, whether it be strictly R&B or it's R&B and hip hop or it's R&B and pop or whatever. What's the other one? The dance music. I can't think of the name.
Techno. It's part of techno music.
It was that one wave.
Scream? It was Scream when Scream was on.
Yeah, and everybody was doing that.
Yeah, he did a little bit of that.
Roland had did it, and a lot of artists was, falling into that wave of music at that
techno.
time. Yeah. Like it ran its course, put it that way.
Yeah.
But he's been very successful in those lanes of just, his music and his catalog. Usher has a catalog out of this world. Like, the man's catalog is epic. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what he decides to do, the songs that he decides to do. Like, I'm predicting, of course, Yeah, because that's a huge song. I can see him doing Yeah. OMG was a big Super Bowl song too. What's the?
Wait, you remind me.
No, it's it's.
We know he's doing My Boo.
Oh yeah, that song.
That song.
I wanted to see him.
Climax. We do Climax.
I don't think Climax, but Lovers and Friends.
Lovers and Friends.
I can see him doing Lovers and Friends. He could do Nice and Slow, just as USHERIA. Why? Just for that. I can see him doing My Way. You Don't Have to Call. Right.
Yep.
Maybe You Make Me Wanna. I mean, he has so many. He has so many songs. So, and they've given him an additional, I think, 2 minutes.
Really?
So it's 15-minute halftime show. It's usually 13 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
So they're giving him additional 2 minutes, which can be a lot, right?
It's a lot.
If you're doing snippets of a song.
Yeah. I wonder who he's gonna bring out. I know we already know Alicia Keys is supposed to be. It's confirmed. And will he bring out City Girls? That might be, they got a little song. That'll be interesting to see. Lil Jon,
Ludacris,
Jermaine Dupri.
You got to do Confessions.
Watch this.
Watch this. You got to do Confessions. Yeah, definitely Confessions. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a huge A1 since day one Usher fan, and so I'm excited to see how lit this halftime. The Usher Bowl is what we're calling it. Cause
the song you're talking about, what's that song right there that we're trying to think about? I don't remember. It's at the top of our tongue.
Yeah, I can't think of it. But he performed that at the Residency.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But yeah, so Super Bowl Sunday. Make sure y'all tune in.
To the Usher
not
show.
Anything else, but to the Usher Bowl.
The Usher Bowl.
And get those Usher tickets. This tickets I know they're pretty high. They are pretty high, but I think he also has his value. You know, he's been in the game for a long time. The success of his residency, he knows his worth. And I mean, if you can afford it, I say get the ticket and go and enjoy the show because he puts on an amazing show. But yeah, huge Usher supporter here. So good luck, Usher.
Yes, sir. You're a huge Usher supporter, and Usher, he's a mentor to you in certain ways, right?
Yeah. I mean, I literally grew up like watching Usher and emulating him as far as like his choreography and things of that nature. And so a lot of my inspiration as a dancer was pulled from Usher. And that had been very helpful in my dancing career. Had been very helpful in my dancing career. So yeah, I always think of Usher as like a big brother.
Yeah, much respect.
Yeah, so I have nothing but mad love for that guy. Mad love. So this was a nice little fun video. We wanted to talk about a few things. So hopefully you enjoyed this video as well. Anything you like or you want to, chime in on, feel free to drop it down in the comment section. Just make sure with any of our videos that you like, by thumbs up in, you share it, you subscribe. And we have a lot of great topics. We have a range of topics. We don't want to just stay stuck on one thing. So hopefully you listen to some other videos and you hear some things that you also enjoy. So we just really appreciate y'all once again for tuning in.
What that guy said.
And so thank y'all so much and God bless.